The collapse of President Bashar al-Assad's regime in Syria on December 8, 2024, marked the end of a 5-decade family rule, driven by a coordinated opposition offensive and waning international support. On November 27, 2024, a coalition of Syrian opposition groups, led by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham (HTS) and backed by the Turkish-supported Syrian National Army, launched a rapid offensive. Within days, key cities such as Aleppo, Hama, and Homs fell, as government forces were overwhelmed by the speed and coordination of the attacks. By early December, opposition forces were advancing on Damascus. For years, Assad's regime depended heavily on Russian and Iranian support to suppress opposition forces. However, by late 2024, Russia's focus on its prolonged involvement in Ukraine and Iran's internal and regional challenges left Assad increasingly isolated. These geopolitical shifts allowed opposition forces to exploit vulnerabilities in the regime's defenses. As opposition forces neared Damascus, the regime's internal cohesion began to unravel. Reports of desertions within the Syrian Arab army emerged, along with growing protests in rural areas near the capital. Facing imminent defeat, Assad fled to Moscow, seeking asylum and marking the collapse of his rule. The fall of Assad's regime opens a new chapter in Syria's turbulent history, with significant implications for both the country and the broader region. Power struggles among opposition groups. The coalition of Syrian opposition forces, while united against Assad, is ideologically fragmented. Disputes over governance and territorial control could lead to internal conflicts, creating further instability. Humanitarian challenges. With Assad's departure, Syria faces a humanitarian crisis, with millions displaced and the infrastructure devastated. The international community may be called upon to address this, but competing geopolitical interests could delay meaningful intervention. Shifting regional alliances. Turkey, having backed key opposition forces, is likely to increase its influence in northern Syria, potentially clashing with Kurdish groups. Meanwhile, Iran may attempt to retain its foothold in the region despite Assad's absence. Emergence of new governance or proxy conflicts. Questions linger about Syria's political future. Will the country transition to a more representative government, or will it become a battleground for competing foreign powers? Potential for ISIS resurgence. The power vacuum created by Assad's fall could provide an opportunity for extremist groups, including ISIS, to regain strength, posing a threat to regional stability. The rapid collapse of Assad's regime underscores the complex interplay of internal dissent, shifting international priorities, and regional power dynamics. While his departure marks a pivotal moment, Syria's future remains uncertain, with opportunities for both recovery and renewed conflict on the horizon.